Hello guys, it seems that our Christmas gift has arrived earlier this year because mkmobile update 2.4 rolled out last night and it looks awesome. In this video I will walk you through the newest stuff in the update. I will show you also the great LIN KUEI gear, all pieces of it, and I'm going to play one Faction Wars game in the end because in the combat cast it was claimed that Faction Wars will be better after the update, so I need to put this to the test. Anyways, the first new thing we have, guys, is new character screens. However, not only the visuals are different, the new character screens actually provide a lot of useful information that we didn't have before. For example, in the passive, with a few words with it, is explained what is the nature of the character and what he is good at. Let us take, for example, Strike Force Scorpion. Yes, they changed the names of so many diamonds, and now Spec Ops Scorpion, Dark Emperor Luke and stuff like this, those are the terms from the past, guys, unfortunately. Anyways, if we take a look at Scorpion's passive, we see that he is good at certain things, which is very helpful for new players, quite honestly. But the new stuff doesn't end here. Probably you have noticed that the characters have strange stats after the updates, but no, they didn't buff them or change their stats. For a moment I thought they did, and I got really worried because then I had to recalculate all the stats and all my reviews and so on and so on. But what they did is that they included information from all possible bonus sources, like talent tree, equipment, support cards, feats of strength. So because I have maxed bear stance in the talent section, defense talent section, there you go. Thus, I have the bonus of 25% hit points included and applied to all characters on my roster, as you can currently see. So the first time when I saw it, I was like shocked. Okay, did they increase the hit points of all characters? Because I'm definitely sure that their hit points wasn't that high. But it seems this is not the case. They just included all possible bonuses, which is kind of good. And the only setback it has is that players will kind of lose the original perspective of what is the base hit points of certain characters. But don't worry, guys, you have me and I keep track of it. After all, in all my reviews and rankings, I take only the base stats with the bonus only from the support cards, because after all, everybody maxes them almost immediately after getting a character they like playing with, so that's fine. Anyways, enough of this. The Terminator and Scarlet are still shy, guys. The Terminator probably will appear in packs around Christmas, even though they haven't officially announced it yet, I'm guessing, but Scarlet is coming in 2020 for sure, and that's announced and a fact. So, the next amazing thing in update 2.4 is the LIN KUEI tower. You know, it is something like Tower of Horror, but at the same time slightly different. In a positive way. Again, you get rewards after each battle, but this time we get good rewards like characters, for example, more often. In the Tower of Horror, we used to get 1 silver at battle 20, 4 basic golds in battle 40, 60, 80 and 100, 4 challenge characters in battles 120, 140, 160 and 180, and of course a Diamond Black Dragon Cabal in battle 200. Here we are getting a basic gold at battle 10 already, so if this pattern keeps until the end of the tower, that's a lot of gold character, guys. And I'm pretty certain, or at least I hope, that somewhere close to battle 200 we might be getting a gold MK11 character as a reward. Another thing about this tower, it seems to be harder than the Tower of Horror, definitely harder, but I played just about 18 battles so far and I will give you more detailed information on it at later stage. Also, before I forget, the tower actually drops upgrade card for special abilities for diamond characters. We did not have such thing before, but it's very useful because, let's face it, one upgrade of one special attack for a diamond character costs about 10,000 coins, so it's really cool, right? And one more thing that you probably haven't noticed yet is that the Bloody Tomahawk has been buffed. Now it gives 1.5 bars of power instead of the original one, as you can see. I don't know why they decided to do it. I mean, it was a very good item when it was just giving 1 bar of power, but I'll take it, no problems. And unfortunately I already did all my battles in the LIN KUEI tower for the day and I cannot show you any gameplay. However, what I can do now is I can show you all equipment that you can get out of the tower of LIN KUEI. So without losing any more time, let us start with the uncommon gear that you can get from the LIN KUEI tower. And the first uncommon gear on the list is KUEI Liangs bracers. Let's see what it does. 20% basic attack damage boost, 10% damage boost in LIN KUEI tower only, 20% max health boost again in LIN KUEI tower only, And of course, equipping this gear with another one from this set, the Liangs set, gives you the opportunity to have a chance to perform a very nice combo ender. I'm really curious to see it. And of course, if the opponent is the last opponent in the game and he's below 25%, you can unlock Sub-Zero's brutality, which is very good, by the way. And of course, at Fusion Diamond 10, you have a 20% chance to freeze an opponent on successfully blocked basic attack. If you exclude the brutality, I would say that in a way this item almost gives you a variation of classic Jack's passive. And by the way, I would love to try it exactly on this character to have some fun with it. But of course, if you have any of the other items in the set, Liangs set, then definitely equip those two items with Sub-Zero and unleash the brutality. The next uncommon gear is the Ice Bomb. 10% power generation boost against some damage and health boost in LIN KUEI tower, and 100% chance to apply freeze to the active enemy at the start of the match. Well, I'm really not a fan of this. It is definitely designed for a starter, but applying freeze at the beginning of the game is kind of lame. It might be very useful though against Dark Emperor Liu Kang, or let's say Circle of Shadow Liu Kang now, because if he's frozen then he cannot really take advantage of the time you are stunned because of his passive is like he cannot use it while frozen. But I don't know, I would definitely use some other items on my starter. Anyways, Ice Bombs looks like a good item. If you don't have anything else, it's serviceable, it's good, it's fine. And the last uncommon item we have is Frozen Mummy. You know, it gives resistance to Frostbite, and at Fusion 10 the last boost unlocks and it gives 15% reduced power cost of all special attacks. So, well, this item is okay, it's still uncommon. By the way, another interesting part in the update is that now they are actually telling which items are uncommon, which items are rare and epic, and you can see in the item itself. It's really useful. But I was saying about the Frozen Mummy, I mean, all those type of gears that provide resistance to only one debuff, and especially in this case resistance to Frostbite, it can be useful, but not many characters have Frostbite in the first place, so it is kind of lame, I'm sorry. I would rather take an item that gives, let's say, 100% resistance to stun, that would be really useful, or 100% resistance to power drain, again useful, but 100% resistance to fire, I believe Witchward in the Tower of Horror was giving it. It wasn't even 100, it was 95, and now this, resistance to Frostbite only? Let's face it, it's not that good. Anyways, let's proceed to the rare equipment. And the first rare equipment we're going to review is Cryo Mansa Armor. Here it is what it does. 20% chance to reflect 50% special attack damage when blocking. At the start of the match, apply Ice Armor for 5 seconds. And of course at Fusion 10, it gives 25% chance to reflect 25% basic damage when blocking. Okay, the first and the second buff of this item are amazing, but the buff that is being unlocked at Fusion 10 is kind of underwhelming. I'm sorry. But in general, I would really love to have this item maxed. It is a pretty good item without any doubts. The next rare LIN KUEI piece of equipment is the Frost Axe. Basically what it does is that it increases your basic attack damage boost against enemies affected by Frostbite. It also gives you some damage boost in Tower of Horror, but sorry, not in Tower of Horror, but in LIN KUEI Tower, but it's expected for a LIN KUEI item. And of course, Sub-Zero only gets 32% chance to apply Frostbite on enemy on special attack 1. It's pretty good item for MK11 Sub-Zero, I would say. And of course at Fusion number 10, it gives 50% blockable chance on basic attacks. Yes, really good item for MK11 Sub-Zero without any doubt. And let us check which is the last rare piece of equipment. And this actually happens to be an armor which is called Ice Gloves. It increases your basic attack damage. It has a 30% chance to apply strength to the owner after freezing an opponent. Wow, it's really unique. Even though I am not really impressed with the strength buff, it is still really unique because after all it gives 30% at Fusion 0, so I guess at Fusion 10 the percentage will be really higher. Anyways, again at Fusion 10 it gives 50% critical hit chance reduction to the opponent, so it is kind of a mix between an offensive and defensive gear, but definitely something that has to be tested, especially the part that gives you a chance to apply strength to the owner after freezing an opponent. That's really cool, I would say, for any Sub-Zero. Okay guys, it is time to reveal the first epic piece of equipment that can be obtained through the LIN KUEI Tower. And this happens to be Liangs Scepter, which is a weapon. It gives you 0.5 bar starting power at Fusion 0, also 50% lethal blow chance against enemies affected by freeze. Okay, I mean, this is good only if you're planning of chaining your special ones. For example, you have 2 bars of power, then you freeze the opponent, and then you have 50% chance for your next special one to deliver lethal blow. If you just use it so that you can punch the opponent, it's kind of a waste. And of course, this is the second piece of equipment, which if you have it, then you can perform the special combo ender and of course the brutality. And at Fusion 10, it gives 100% chance to apply bleed when hitting an opponent affected by freeze. Okay, I mean, I would take this item because of the 1.5 bars of starting power, and of course, if you want to use this item, you have to change your special ones. If you do that, then it will be amazing, because after all, it gives 50% lethal blow chance on Fusion 0, so I guess Fusion 10 need to give 100 or close to 100. And the second epic item is Cryo Blade, which is obviously a weapon. At Fusion 0, it gives 15% attack boost and 50% chance to apply ice armor after defeating an opponent. And by the way, it is never mentioned whether this ice armor will be there for good or whether this ice armor will break in, let's say, 5 or 6 seconds, so we can assume that it will be there for good, or at least until an opponent eventually breaks it. And at Fusion number 10, guys, this item does the unthinkable. If you kill an opponent, you are power draining 1 bar of power of each of the remaining enemies. So in a way, this item has the Cold War Sonya passive and the Punk Cassie passive. Or at least let us say similar to Punk Cassie's passive. Either way, I rest my case here. And the next epic gear, guys, is again an armor, and it is called Frost Mask. Basically what it does is, first, it increases your health by 35% Fusion 0. Second, after defeating an opponent, apply Frostbite on their teammates for 5 seconds. Oh boy, just imagine a Diamond MK11 Sub-Zero in an MK11 team having Frost Mask and Cryo Blade maxed out. And on top of that, Sub-Zero only gets 50% chance to apply Frostbite on the enemy team at the start of the match, and this is at Fusion 0, so we can assume that at Fusion 10 to give close to 100 again. And on top of that, at Fusion 10 there's another buff, 50% opponent unblockable attack chance reduction. Alright, they really need to make Faction Wars harder, guys. Anyways, let us take a look at the final epic equipment. And it is called Frost Orb. It gives 10% reduced power cost on all special attacks at Fusion 0. Well, it is kind of okay, it's always useful. Second, once per fight, spawn an ice clone that will save the wearer from a knockout blow. There is a 10% chance the ice clone will explode and apply Frostbite to the opponent. And at Fusion 10, immunity to Frostbite and stun. Oh my... I am seeing it, guys. It is in front of my eyes. I see a lot of Jades running with Living Dead armor and this Frost Orb thing. It will be the worst imaginable nightmare. Why are they doing this? I mean, imagine those two items on Slasher Jason. What are we doing? I mean, they have to do something with Faction Wars, otherwise in 6 or 7 months, Faction Wars will be flooded with Jades with those 2 items. It won't be even funny if you don't have Cabal maxed or Shao Kahn maxed so that you can finish her off. It won't be even funny, guys. Wow. And the immunity to stun on Jade, oh my. Anyways, I really rest my case. I'm loving this and I'm hating this because they need to make sure that the game will get balanced, because there will be a lot of whales coming into the game with the maxed items and then we cannot do anything basically. You have to have those specific characters, or you have to do something in order to survive Jade being, I don't know, immortal. Anyway, guys, now I promised you in the beginning that I'm going to play a Faction Wars, and I intend to keep my promise. So without any further ado, let's jump straight into Faction Wars. I'm using this particular Cabal team. Yes, I kind of maxed him out. I'm totally free to play, by the way. Totally. Anyways, I decided to max him out because, I don't know, I was in the mood to have some good Jade counters, and I really like the character, so I said, why not? It is time, so just do it. So anyways, long story short, I have him maxed, and I really believe that this is his best team as of now. You can literally stack up to 3 or 4 generations at the same time, so I'm going to demonstrate how this team works now. Important thing about Cabal, by the way, is that you have to learn what is the best way to attack him in. Oh. I'll take that, I'm okay with that. So I'll wait for this Kano to finish his X-ray, and I'm going to show you how to tag him in so that you can guarantee that they're not going to... This Kitana is pretty annoying, by the way. Okay, this is kind of an okay way to tag him in. And if she's stunned, you can just, I don't know, use her special one. Use your special one on her, actually, I'm sorry. So that she can get snared and she'll start bleeding and stuff. Oh, by the way, this is a Kitana which is called Melina. It's really sweet. And this Kano is a pretty good character. I didn't really review him yet, but I will. And there we go, we have just a Circle of Shadow Quan Chi coming in soon. Come on, girl, just die. There is nothing you can do, you're faceless. And you are... oh my. Okay, probably we're going to have two X-rays here, or probably an X-ray and a Fatal Blow coming in a second. Are we going to see this? No. Alright, yeah, this was the way to tag in Cabal in the middle of the enemy's basic attack so that you can guarantee he's not going to miss. He's resisting my crushing blow bleeds, and that's unfortunate. No! I'm going to put my Kano back in so that he can break some of Quan Chi skulls. Okay, there we go. Now he can die. Oh my. Alright. By the way, guys, another very interesting news, I would say very good news about the update is that you can use blue stacks again. You know, after update 2.3, you couldn't use blue stacks for any reason. I don't know why, there was some kind of a pesky mistake, but now you can do that. Now blue stacks is up and running again. And unfortunately he doesn't, unfortunately for me, he doesn't really like Cabal, because, I don't know, it kinda lags every time when I play Cabal, but long story short, you can just download BlueStacks again and run Mortal Kombat, it'll be fine. So, thank you very much for watching, guys. This was my initial review of the update. I believe it's a very good update, a lot of new stuff. I really want to see the Jades with Living Dead and this orb stuff so that they can be immortal. I really enjoy this. And by the way, guys, stick around because I'm going to release a lot of videos shortly. And I didn't forget about Tribal Sub-Zero. He's coming very, very soon. See you next time, guys. Take care.